Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, welcome back. I am Mr. Mad, your marvelous business and enterprise teacher. We often focus on profits, products, or advanced machinery when discussing business success. However, imagine an organization as a sophisticated machine. It might have the best design and the best materials, but without the right person to operate, maintain, and innovate, that machine will eventually come to a standstill. Today, we are going to learn one of the most important things in human resources.
If you've ever wondered why some people literally bounce into work ready to crush it, while others are just, counting down the seconds until they can bolt, well, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're diving into this explainer to unpack the psychology behind employee motivation using a true classic, Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Okay, let's take a quick look at our roadmap. We're going to cover 1. The motivation problem, 2. Climbing the hierarchy, 3. The bright cafe case, 4. Quick check and activity, and finally, 5. Final lesson recap. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The motivation problem.
So, picture a workplace you know well, maybe a local coffee shop. You've probably noticed a massive difference between the workers, right? Imagine two baristas side by side. Employee A is dragging, totally stressed out, just going through the motions. But right next to them, employee B is smiling, handling a crazy rush of customers, totally dialed in. It begs the question, why do some workers feel super motivated while others just want to go home?
Well, to figure that out, we got to define what we're actually talking about here. Motivation is, at its core, the reason people want to act or work. Think of it kind of like your phone battery. If a worker has zero motivation, they're running on that blinking red 1%. They've got absolutely nothing left to give. But when that battery is fully charged to 100%, they work harder, they're focused, they actually care. But here's the tricky part. We are humans, not phones. We don't all plug into the same charger, so to speak. Different people need totally different things to get that battery up to 100%.
Section 2. Climbing the hierarchy.
And this brings us to Abraham Maslow. He was a brilliant psychologist who basically mapped out what we humans need to feel fully charged. He realized our needs aren't just random. They actually stack up in a specific 5-level hierarchy: physiological, safety, social, esteem, and finally, self-actualization. The absolute key takeaway here is this. You have to satisfy those bottom-level basic needs first before you can even think about the higher ones. Let's build this from the ground up.
So, right at the foundation, level 1, physiological needs. These are the literal bare minimums for keeping a human alive: food, water, rest. When you translate that to a job, we're talking about earning a basic salary so you can actually buy groceries, having access to drinking water, getting a real lunch break, and working reasonable hours so you can actually sleep at night. Look, if someone isn't making enough to eat or they're completely sleep-deprived, they physically cannot care about anything else. It's a pretty simple equation, really. No lunch break, motivation has literally left the chat. Seriously, it's funny, but it is so true. If you deprive a person of basic rest or food, workplace morale just tanks instantly. You absolutely cannot expect peak performance from somebody running on an empty stomach.
Okay, so once those bodily needs are met, we step up to level 2, safety needs. We all naturally want to feel secure, right? At work, this means physical safety, like a factory worker needing the right safety gear or a late shift cashier knowing they're protected, but it also means clear rules and, crucially, job stability. If your team is constantly terrified they might get fired tomorrow, that anxiety is going to drain their motivation completely. They need to feel grounded.
All right, so you've got food in your belly and a secure contract. Now we look to level 3, social needs. We are profoundly social creatures. We need to feel like we belong. In the office, this means a positive vibe, friendly coworkers, and real teamwork. You could have the safest, best-paying job in the world, but if your team completely ignores you, you're going to be miserable. But when coworkers actually welcome you, that sense of belonging is a massive, massive motivation booster.
I mean, this perfectly captures that social dynamic. Imagine the sheer anxiety of Group Chat 1. You ask a work question and, seen by everyone, no reply. Yikes. Awkward, right? It makes you want to retreat entirely. Now compare that to Group Chat 2, blowing up with "Welcome to the team" messages. That positive social interaction isn't just nice to have, it's a vital necessity for a functional workplace.
Moving up, we're getting near the top now. Level 4 is esteem needs. Once you feel like you're part of the team, you kind of want to stand out a bit, right? We all crave respect, recognition, and feeling like we've achieved something. This is where a manager can change the game just by praising good work, giving out an award, offering a promotion, or just trusting someone with a big, independent project. If you work your tail off and literally no one notices, your motivation is absolutely going to slip.
But when a manager stops and says, "Hey, amazing job on that project, we literally couldn't have done it without you," it is basically like a video game pop-up. Achievement unlocked. Employee feels appreciated. That one simple hit of recognition does absolute wonders for someone's self-esteem and makes them want to crush it again tomorrow.
And finally, the very peak, Level 5, self-actualization. This is the deep desire to grow and reach your absolute full potential. Up here, you aren't just working for a paycheck or even a high five. You want meaning. You're driven by learning new skills, solving really complex creative problems, and taking the lead on something. At this level, it's all about mastering your craft.
Section 3. The Bright Cafe Case.
So, let's take all this psychology and drop it into a real business scenario. Imagine a place called the Bright Cafe. The manager looks around and sees their 5 employees are exhausted, totally unfocused, and their motivation is completely zeroed out. Now, instead of just yelling at them to work harder, which never works, the manager uses Maslow's hierarchy like a diagnostic checklist. From the bottom up, first, physiological. Are they actually getting their breaks? Second, safety. Is the kitchen equipment safe and are the rules clear? Third, social. Is there weird unnecessary drama or are they a solid team? Fourth, esteem. Has the manager actually thanked them for handling the morning coffee rush? And fifth, self-actualization. Are the veteran employees getting a chance to maybe create new menu items? By troubleshooting level by level, the manager finds exactly where the motivation is blocked.
Section 4. Quick check and activity.
All right, let's do a quick knowledge check. Imagine an employee is actively asking for recognition for a project they just crushed. Which of Maslow's levels are they trying to fulfill? Is it A, physiological needs, B, safety needs, C, social needs, or D, esteem needs? Think about it for a second.
And the answer is D, esteem needs. If you locked in D, you nailed it. Remember, anytime someone is looking for respect, praise, or that formal recognition from their boss, they are operating right there on level 4 of the hierarchy.
Now it's your turn. You can totally use this 4-step diagnostic in your own career or business. 1. Pick a workplace. 2. Identify one specific worker problem. 3. Match it to a Maslow level. And 4. Suggest a targeted solution. Like if remote workers are feeling super isolated, that's a level 3 social need, right? So a great solution might be launching a casual weekly video hangout. It's such a powerful tool to fix morale.
Section 5. Final lesson recap.
Let's bring it all home with today's absolute key takeaways. First, motivation is that essential fuel explaining why we act or care about work. Second, Abraham Maslow gave us those 5 distinct levels of needs. Third, and this is absolutely crucial, basic survival needs have got to be met before you can ever care about the higher level stuff like recognition or creativity. And finally, the best managers don't just guess, they use this exact hierarchy to troubleshoot and improve their team's performance. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought to chew on. Take a look inward at your own career. Which level of Maslow's hierarchy is currently driving your goals today? And more importantly, what exact steps do you need to take to satisfy that need so you can climb up to the next level of your own potential? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer today. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you next time.
That's bring us to the end of our lessons on human resource management. I hope you now have a clearer understanding of how to value and manage talent effectively. Please make sure to check the bus platform for today's materials and submit your tasks as scheduled. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.